Hi. There's an entire world of information out there on the words codependent and empath. And they are directly related to narcissism because they love those kinds of people. They don't always go together. I happen to be both. Lucky me. And there's a gazillion words on the disorder, so in 7 minutes or less, a codependent person is someone your happiness comes before mine. Yours counts, venture I say, more than mine. If you're happy, I'll be happy. Okay. Inherent in that is being a fixer. I want to fix you. I want to make you happy. I want to do whatever it takes. Even forgetting my own needs, as long as yours are being met. It's a disorder. It's a dysfunction, in my opinion. It's not a great way to be for yourself. I was told this 25 years ago. I've been reading about it since, and I'm still trying to understand it. An empath very easily can put themselves in somebody else's shoes, and therefore they have a hard time not caring. I have a very hard time not caring about somebody else that's going through something. And we're highly sensitive to what others are going through because we care so much about it. People tell us their problems. It all goes hand in hand, okay? When you're with a narcissist and you have these kinds of personality traits, it is like candy to them because they know that with a person of your moral code, belief system, disorder, whatever you want to call it, they can cut off our heads and spit down our neck, and we're still going to give them another chance. We're probably going to give more chances than the next person who might, maybe if they skipped us, maybe they would have met another narcissist. The relationship would have been over for a month. They would have parted ways. Nobody's hurt. Nobody cares. Or maybe they would have met just a quiet person who's not a codependent, but just handles it differently. When you're a codependent and or an empath, you are somebody that they will feed on because you're going to put them first. You're going to put their needs first, their happiness first. You're going to try to constantly make things easier on them and walk on eggshells to get things right. Now, if you are not in a dangerous situation, I challenge you to not do that for 1 minute. Just take a minute and say, okay, why am I doing that right now? Is that just to make him happy? And I don't mean we don't do things to make each other happy in a healthy way. You know what I mean. But there are things that you're doing right now that I did. I cannot believe to this day how much I tolerated from the narcissist. That goes against everything I would ever have tolerated before because I was trying to just keep peace, make that person happy, work it out, fix it, deal with it, work through it, try to figure out the problem. Now I'm educated and realize it's a cycle they go through, and there's nothing I could have fixed or listened to. I mean, if you think about it, we try, and we listen, and we concede, and then we try again, and then we cry, and then we curtail, and we ignore the real issues. We go through everything, if you're the type of person I am especially, to try to fix the situation. And we certainly don't turn our backs very quickly. Maybe that's why, because we think we can fix it. You're a cheerleader. You're going to get this right, and you're going to love them, and you're going to fix them, and you're going to help them. Then you get educated. I start listening and reading and learning all these things. But see, this is where I think it's tough too. Even at the end, once you leave, if you leave, it's very hard for people like us to turn our backs completely and walk in the other direction. It adds an extra layer of difficulty for us because as people, if we meet somebody and we get to know somebody, we care about their state of well-being. Well, here's a person that you thought you loved. You felt you loved. And now you're having to turn your back on that whole thing and not care what happens to them. That's virtually impossible for a codependent empath to do. And a super empath, which is what I am, because I'm high on both scales, I think. We want justice. That's the part of me that insists on challenging, right? So and I don't convince easily. So even when I broke no contract and he's trying to talk, he didn't penetrate. There's nothing now that's going to convince me. I will not convince easily, if ever, ever again. So, but even though I could stand up to the bully, because that's all a narcissist is to me, is they're being a bully. It's a bully. There's a lot of bullying involved, and that's a hot button of mine, which is why this topic became a hot button of mine. Even though I stood up to the bully, it didn't mean that I still, to this day, my interest is, ooh, what if we could just fix them? All of them. I just want them all to be fixed. I want everyone to be happy and healthy and in love and have their mind solid and their soul solid and their heart. If you stood up to your bully or not, if you left your narcissist or not, if you're in it still or not, doesn't matter. Look at the type of person that you are. And if it's leading you down a path of ignoring your own needs and wants and happiness and choosing theirs first in every manner, you can wake up to that and make a different choice. Just try it and see how it feels, because I get very afraid of people losing themselves in this entire process. It's very easy to do. So please look at what type of person you are. If you are a codependent and or an empath, give that some thought, and that is driving you to try to fix things. That quality in you, separate from them, is driving you to fix it and be the champion of it and to love them out of it and forgetting your own needs. As long as their happiness, you'll be happy. All of that is related to how you deal with the narcissist. So look at your personality and see where you fall and start to try to make little adjustments. Just try them on for size, see how they feel. Good luck.